Behind the shining lights and red carpet glamour, there's a history steeped in depravity and shocking scandals. But what happened when fame turned into a weapon? Today we're diving into the disturbing lives of 10 actors whose stories reveal the most depraved side of Tinseltown. Number 1. Errol Flynn. Errol was the swashbuckling hero of countless adventure films, a dashing star admired by millions in the 1930s and 1940s. But behind his charming grin and undeniable charisma was a man whose exploits earned him the nickname Hollywood's Great Seducer. Flynn's womanizing ways weren't just tabloid gossip. They were the stuff of shocking courtroom drama. He was accused of statutory rape involving underage girls, a scandal that rocked Hollywood to its core. Though he was acquitted after a sensational trial in 1943, the damage to his reputation lingered. Even after the trial, rumors and whispers about his private life continued. Despite his acquittal, Flynn leaned into his infamous public image, playing it up in interviews and continuing to indulge in a hedonistic lifestyle. While audiences adored his performances, those who knew him personally saw another side entirely, a man consumed by excess. Flynn's legacy is forever tied to both his on-screen heroics and his off-screen controversies, a stark reminder of how the power of fame can corrupt in dark and disturbing ways. Number 2. Clark Gable. Clark was Hollywood's king of charm, famous for his role as Rhett Butler in Gone with the Wind. On screen, he was the suave heartthrob admired by millions, but off-screen, a much darker reputation followed him. Gable was known for making aggressive and inappropriate advances toward female coworkers. Stories circulated about unwanted encounters during film productions, as actresses reportedly endured uncomfortable situations to avoid backlash from their studios. Gable's good looks and immense fame seemed to make him think he could get away with anything. However, the consequences never came. Protected by the powerful studio system, Gable's reputation remained untarnished during his lifetime. Studios worked hard to suppress any scandal surrounding their A-list star, prioritizing his box office appeal over accountability. Even today, his glamorous legacy outshines the dark rumors about his behavior. Many critics now question the extent to which Golden Age Hollywood protected its stars from public scrutiny, leaving behind unanswered questions about Gable's troubling conduct. Number 3. Louis B. Mayer. Louis was the mastermind behind MGM, one of the most powerful studios during Hollywood's golden era. While Mayer built an empire and became one of the most influential figures in entertainment, his behavior behind closed doors painted a darker picture. Mayer allegedly groomed young actresses hoping for their big break, using his position as a mentor to exploit their vulnerability. Promises of stardom were reportedly overshadowed by self-serving manipulation, leaving many trapped in uncomfortable situations. Mayer's influence was so great that few dared to challenge his actions. Aspiring stars felt cornered, unable to speak out for fear of retaliation from Hollywood's most powerful man. Mayer's troubling legacy now stands as a cautionary tale about the unchecked power that dominated Hollywood at the time. Despite his massive contributions to the industry, whispers of exploitation have made his story far more complex, revealing how easily trust could be twisted into control. Number 4. Wallace Beery. Wallace was one of MGM's most bankable stars, known for his gruff persona and tough guy roles. But behind the scenes, he was rumored to be far less admirable. Beery's name has been linked to predatory behavior, including allegations of sexual assault that some say were covered up by the studio. These rumors have persisted for decades, with some claiming his actions were part of a larger culture of abuse and exploitation in Golden Age Hollywood. The rumors didn't tarnish Beery's career during his lifetime, thanks in large part to MGM's ability to suppress negative stories about their stars. However, in recent years, his legacy has become more complicated as these dark allegations resurface, offering a chilling glimpse into how studios protected their biggest moneymakers at all costs. Number 5. Jack Warner. Jack wasn't just a studio executive. He was one of the most influential figures in Hollywood history. As the head of Warner Brothers, he oversaw an empire that produced some of the most iconic films ever made. But behind the polished image of a man who helped define Hollywood, Warner reportedly hid a dark side. Allegations surfaced that he used his position of power to manipulate and pressure young actresses, often implying that their careers were dependent on favors. For many, the dream of becoming a superstar at Warner Brothers turned into a nightmare. Warner allegedly turned auditions and meetings with actresses into opportunities for exploitation, dangling roles like bait to get what he wanted. What makes these allegations even more unsettling is how normalized this behavior seemed to be in the golden age of Hollywood. At the time, aspiring stars felt they were trapped, knowing that rejecting Warner's advances could mean losing their chance to ever work in the industry. Despite whispers of misconduct, Warner's legacy was largely protected by the studio system, which valued profit and public representation above all else. Today, his story serves as a grim reminder of how unchecked power operated behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood's golden era, leaving many aspiring stars to pay the price. Number 6. Fatty Arbuckle. Arbuckle was one of the most famous comedians of the silent film era, often credited with shaping early Hollywood comedy. But his career came crashing down in 1921 under the weight of a scandal that would haunt him for the rest of his life. Arbuckle was accused of causing the death of actress Virginia Rapp during a party in a San Francisco hotel. The accusations were filled with tales of wild debauchery and violence, painting him as a monster in the public eye. Though Arbuckle endured 3 separate trials and was eventually acquitted, public opinion had already sentenced him. The fallout was brutal. Arbuckle's films were banned, sponsorships pulled out, and his studio contracts were terminated. He became uninsurable, a death sentence for any Hollywood career at the time. While he later tried to rebuild his career under a pseudonym, he never regained the stature he once enjoyed. Fatty Arbuckle's meteoric rise and devastating fall represent Hollywood's ability to both create and destroy stars in equal measure. Number 7. Howard Hughes. Howard wasn't just a wealthy filmmaker. He was one of the most eccentric men in Hollywood's history. While Hughes was admired for his daring business ventures and ambitious vision in filmmaking, his personal relationships with actresses revealed a disturbing pattern of manipulation. Hughes had a habit of signing young women to restrictive, exploitative contracts, promising fame while controlling nearly every aspect of their lives. He reportedly used private investigators to monitor these actresses, keeping a close eye on them even when they weren't working. For those under Hughes's control, the world of lights and cameras quickly turned into a suffocating nightmare. His obsession with dominance and intrusive behavior made life unbearable for many of his favorites. Yet Hughes's wealth and influence insulated him from consequences. Hollywood tolerated his odd and predatory ways, unwilling to confront one of its biggest financial titans. Today, Hughes is remembered as a genius with a twisted side, proving how unchecked power can distort even the brightest talents in Hollywood. Number 8. Charlie Chaplin. Charlie, the man who made the world laugh with his iconic Little Tramp persona, carried a darker reputation off-screen. While his comedic genius is undeniable, Chaplin's personal life was often the subject of damning headlines. Relationships with much younger women, including several teenage girls, raised eyebrows, and Chaplin frequently faced paternity suits and allegations of grooming. His scandalous love life became so infamous that it often overshadowed his professional achievements. Things only worsened during the Red Scare of the 1950s. Chaplin was accused of immoral behavior and communist sympathies, leading to his exile from the United States. While he continued to work abroad, his reputation in Hollywood never fully recovered. Though he later received a Special Academy Award, Chaplin's personal life remains a controversial topic that has tainted his remarkable career in the eyes of many. Number 9. Bob Hope. Bob was known as America's favorite entertainer, using comedy and charm to capture the hearts of fans. His public image was pure, but behind the laughs, rumors pointed to a darker reputation. Stories circulated about him using his fame to pursue much younger women, some of whom reportedly felt pressured by the power dynamic at play. Though not widely publicized during his lifetime, these allegations create a troubling contradiction with the wholesome persona Hope portrayed on TV and at events. While Hope's career remained largely intact, the whispers of his inappropriate behavior cast a shadow over his legacy after his death. Hope's story has become an unsettling example of how Golden Age Hollywood allowed stars to maintain their public reputations while privately engaging in questionable actions. His case shows how fame often protects celebrities, leaving behind deeper issues for fans and critics to explore long after their time in the spotlight ends. Number 10. David O. Selznick. David was celebrated as the man behind one of Hollywood's greatest films, Gone with the Wind. As a producer, he was known for his creative genius and ability to bring grand stories to life. However, Selznick's reputation in private circles told a much darker tale. Whispers suggested that Selznick exploited his influence in the industry, trading roles for questionable favors from actresses desperate to make a name for themselves. These allegations point to a powerful mogul abusing his position in ways that were normalized by the unchecked power structure of the film industry. While Selznick continued to dominate Hollywood during his lifetime, his behavior left many actresses feeling trapped and betrayed by the system they trusted to launch their careers. Today, his legacy is overshadowed by these damning reports, reminding us that even Hollywood's brightest stars and producers often had deeply troubling secrets. Selznick's story highlights how success can disguise deeply unsettling truths, showing the darker realities behind the glamour of Hollywood's golden age. Hollywood may be the land of opportunity, but these stories show how fame often came at a heavy price. From manipulative moguls to predatory actors, this dark side reveals a pattern of power going unchecked. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Oh, but this story doesn't end here. Click on the next video to uncover more shocking stories of Hollywood Golden Age. See you there.